Mario Trimarchi, 63 years old. We live in Milan, we work in Milan, we travel a lot, but we basically are Italians. That was very nice. My childhood in Sicily was a very protected environment. So I spent a lot of time in the countryside. I spent a lot of time on the land when there were a lot of farmers, a lot of orange trees and vineyards and vegetables in the garden. So it was very, very, very good to have this kind of relationship with soil, with plants, with nature. My family name comes from the 12th century, from Byzantine culture, and is the name of a profession, of a political profession. It's responsible of a little piece of land or a little town, which is called in a way which was translated then during the time with Trimarchi. So my origins are totally sipped into Sicily. Well, you know, when you're a student, you think that you have a lot of opportunity in front of you. Now, if I look behind and see what really happened in my life, I saw that every 6-7 years, I changed my profession, I changed the direction of my research, I changed the point, the focus of my interests in design. I think I was very lucky in this to really live always with different opportunities. No, I use computers, but freehand generation means that you have a very instantaneous a relationship with the project. You think and you're able to reproduce something in terms of images in just 2 seconds. That's important because this way you are able to capture the first beginning of the thought, of the intuition. You know, you don't translate thought in design through a medium, through a certain quantity of time, but you immediately fix the image. This is a good gym, you know, it's good exercise because you don't think, you are not able to think, you are not required to think. Everything is a natural process. I am very intrigued by this natural process, you know, and this is the reason why the freehand practice is not just a matter of style or results in terms of what are you using on a piece of paper, but it's just to disappear and let just ideas be transformed in drawings and in design, if you want, in jiffy. I often say that if you could describe a project by phone, by just speaking to someone, this means 90% of cases that design is not interesting. And these, of course, take some responsibility in the eyes of designers, which is the idea that if I really keep dignity to an object, I am very pretentious. I think that people should spend time in understanding this object. Yeah, a specific Japanese pen, but I am not paying for advertisements, so I don't show you. Yeah, there is this pen that I selected for two reasons. Of course, the first one is the weight of the ink on the paper. But the second, which perhaps is the first, is the noise. So lucky. If there is just one aspect that I want to underline always is how to love objects. That's important because we are nowadays living in an environment in which we hate objects, or at least we are indifferent towards objects. Objects are just commodities. We can break them, we can change them, we could move and sell everything. There's no more relationship with the objects. To me, trying to rebuild this relationship and say, perhaps sometimes we have also to think to design something that we could take with us after death, in our tomb. That would be beautiful because we are no more used to think to eternity. My idea, which is a little bit provoking, but it is interesting to face this idea, is why don't we close the design schools all around the world for a couple of years? Because we could take the time to rethink the education, And that in the Mediterranean Sea, for instance, every year there is a short period of a couple of months in which you can't fish. This is important for letting fishes reproduce themselves, And I was always fascinated by this idea. Not to forbid them, but to stop for a while, to breathe, to take everything with the right time, and eventually to redesign some conditions. I don't know. I don't know. No, there are not very, very strong criticism because my objects want not to cry loud. They are very calm presences. So they don't need a great attention, and in the same way, they don't need a great criticism, perhaps. Ossidiana is just one piece of long research that I am doing now in the field of sculpture, because in the last 60 or 70 years, I personally think that design was too much focused in its own discipline and identity. While if we cross the border, and I mean the borders between art, design, sculpture, architecture, different scales, I think we would have a more complex idea of reality. No, I think that lockdown was just an opportunity. It was important in terms of changes of paradigm, way of living, daily living, and so on. But we have not to exaggerate too much this condition. We ran the normal job. I had a lot of time to read, to write, to think a little bit, to some new questions which are fascinating to me. But for the rest, everything was really the same. That's difficult. There is space for everything. You have not to be so square, if I can say. Don't be so square. No, whatever. But now it's so hot that you just order salad and it's enough. Wintertime is different. It depends. It really depends. But it's just there's no more difference between what we eat in Italy or whatever. Tongues of ducks, an entire plate full of tongues of ducks. So it was really difficult because you can imagine, so weird that I can't say, okay, just I try to test one and I will say you something. No, I have to eat more than 20. It was an experience. Oh yes, some products from Sicilian patisserie. This is terrible because they are designed not to be eaten. They are designed not to be tasted after lunch or after dinner, but people do, and the results are beautiful because you forget everything that you already eaten, and you enter in a new kind of paradise. You know, when I came to Milan in the 80s, last century, the only place where to do the things that I was interested in deepen was Milan. So I had no plan B, no second chance. Milan was the center and was full of people that I really loved, that I really was very lucky. I had the opportunity to know these beautiful people of the last generation of designers in Italy, and it was great. It depends what kind of dinner date, you know. No, but something standard, you know, something black and white, for instance. I'm very curious, you know, in that case, but you have really to try to disappear, you know, because if you open an exhibition or if you show a new product, you want people to focus the design of new products, not to focus how beautiful you are, how you're dressed, or whatever. You know? I'm very curious about people that I don't understand, such as Putin or Erdogan, these kind of people. But I don't think they will accept my invitation. I'm not interested. I'm not interested for them, you know. Oh, it's not important. You know, when you meet people for dinner is the last important thing of the night. You know, going on. I can't embrace 10 different things. I can't have too much. Too many important goals. I mean, out of charts goals. I think that it's better to focus the things that we are able to do. You know, in our profession, it's very difficult to define free time, work, profession, hobbies, and so on. It's always the same thing. So listen music while are you drawing? I don't know if it's an hobby. It's something natural. Yeah, I read little books. The secret of the books is to be extremely small, you know, no more than 100 pages. Because everything that you could read at the end, when you close the book, you say, okay, but they could tell me the same story in half a number of pages, you know. And this is a great disaster, you know, because there's no reason why to tell a story. I could tell you a story for 6 hours, but you'd be crazy, you know. It's better me to tell you a story in 20 minutes rather than 6. When you draw too much with little lines, means that in order to finish a little drawing, you take 2 hours, 3 hours, also 6 hours. This is just for a little drawing, this big, you know, less than A3 format. That, of course, means that for 3 hours you have something in your ears, which is this screech, 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 which is the noise or the sound, if you want, of the pen. That's important because you take your rhythm from the sound of the pen. And this is the way you should carefully select the instruments, the pencils, the pen, or whatever, because drawing is a matter of rhythm, finding the rhythm and entering in this rhythm and then staying in this balance, you know. Riverside. Fragility, always fragility. Sketching in a book. Water. Penne. Espresso, always espresso. Both. Independently. Eve Klein, I hate the tests. Little shrimps, too many. Very full color, all the colors of the world. You know. Sometimes, no, not so much. No, negative. Alternative. London, closed. No, I don't want yeah, I don't want they remember. I want they could do something, you know. Sometimes also think to some points that they met during their life, but don't remember. We do the things because otherwise we go into the hospitals, you know. We don't do things because we want to be remembered. We do the things because we must do them. Now, I hope we'll have a future, and I'm so happy if there is any future from tomorrow morning, you know. So tomorrow morning, I wake up, you wake up, everybody wake up, and just thanks. That's beautiful. Yeah?